Hello fellow treasure hunters! We are happy to finally present you our brand new high-end metal detectors, the Quest V80 and V60. In this video we will focus on the V80, but the V60 is very similar to it in terms of design and settings, that's why you'll learn the most important parts anyway. With the completely new HyperQ technology, the V80 searches with frequencies from 5 up to 60 kHz at the same time. It is 5 meter waterproof, has a carbon fiber shaft which is collapsible up to 53 centimeters and uses our brand new Gorilla Tough Blizzard coils. In this video we will show you this beautiful new machine and take a quick look at all of the settings. As this unit in my hands is only a sample for testing, it may look a little bit battered, and also it only uses an aluminium rod like it will be on the V60, but on the V80 you normally have a carbon fiber shaft. The shaft can be adjusted with 3 cam locks. This way you can change the length of the shaft easy and fast. You can turn the coil by 90 degrees so it fits better into a bag. The Blizzard 11 search coil is perfect for most places. The new armrest can be easily adjusted by using the 2 screws on the bottom of it. The control unit's handle has an anti-slip pattern on both sides, so it sits firmly in the hand. The button layout is basically the same as it was on the Q30 and Q60. Means we have an up and down arrow, a settings button, a pinpoint button and 2 square buttons. On the edges of the control unit you also have 2 buttons on either side. The reflective LCD display has a resolution of 400 x 240 pixels and is sunlight reflective, which means the more sun is shining, the better you can see the interface, which saves a lot of energy. On the back side you can see the 2 LED coil lighting and also the coil cable port and a USB Type-C port for charging the battery and connecting wired headphones. Let's take a look at the interface and what is on the display. Similar to what you are used from past Quest metal detectors, you can see the big target ID in the middle of the screen. On top there is still the ID bar with the 99 target IDs displayed. It is now split into different segments which indicate the tones you use, or the number of tones you use. So you can immediately see in which target ID spectrum which tone will be heard. Also new, you can now see the time in the top of the screen. In the top bar you can also see different icons regarding, for example, the volume, wireless headphones information, backlight settings, battery status and more. On the right side you can see a signal strength indicator, which means the higher the bar jumps, the more clear the signal is, so it is either really big or relatively near to the coil when it jumps up very high. Right under this bar you can see the current search frequency, and under this you can see the currently chosen search mode. On the left side of the display we have this new kind of indicator which basically shows 3 different things. First, the bars around the circle indicate how much noise cancellation is necessary or at the moment active. Second, on the left side of the circle, this is the salt water percentage, which means when you're searching in a salty environment, it will show you how salty the ground is. And on the right side you have the same but for mineralized ground. So if you are in a very mineralized environment, you can see the bar going very high. Under this you can see the sensitivity. This can be set from 1 to 99. The white area at the end of the bar shows the sensitivity level at which the detector may become a little noisy. So this depends on the specific search location where you are at the moment. A good rule of thumb is to set the sensitivity right to the start of the white area. On the bottom of the screen you can see the current level of different settings, which are first the TX power, second the recovery speed, third the ion audio and fourth the gyro status. I will tell you about these things in a minute. Directly under the target ID you can see this graph which indicates the detected ion. So if the object is made of pure iron, the bar will jump to the left. If it's another type of metal, it will jump to the right. Let's now take a quick look at the buttons and settings of the V80. The power button is the upper button on the right side of the control unit. Keep it pressed for a short time and you will see the detector booting up. You can turn it off by doing the same. The lower button on this side is for the lighting settings. By pressing it shortly, you can adjust the display backlight. By holding it, you can turn the coil lighting on and off. On the other side of the control unit, you have the buttons for the volume control. The upper button increases the volume, and the lower button lowers it. Once the detector is muted and you press the lower button again, you can enter one of two vibration modes. The arrow buttons are used to adjust the sensitivity. The pinpoint button can be pressed once to enter the pinpoint mode. The lower the number on the display is, the closer is the object to the middle of the coil. Press it again to leave the pinpoint mode again. You can also keep the pinpoint button pressed, and this way you can perform ground balancing. This means you have to pump the detector up and down a few times so it adjusts to the ground conditions at the search location. With the settings button, you can enter the settings, at which we will take a look in a minute. With the upper square button, you can change between the search modes. You can choose between the modes Park, Field, Beach, Gold, Cache, which is perfect for searching bigger targets in great depth, and custom modes. You can also keep the upper square button pressed to activate the all metal mode, indicated by this icon in the top. This means that the discrimination is deactivated, so the V80 will tell you about every single target, no matter if it's iron or gold. By pressing the lower square button, you can either choose one of the single frequencies, which are 5, 10, 15, 20, 40 or 60 kHz, or you choose the new HyperQ technology, where the device uses multiple frequencies at the same time. In the sample it is still called Z-Multi-Q, which was replaced by the term HyperQ. By holding the lower square button, you can perform noise cancelling. It's always a good idea to do this before searching when you arrive at a new search location, because the detector will analyze the environment for electromagnetic interferences and will block these out as good as it can. So now let's take a look at the different settings. You can navigate through the menu by using the arrow and square buttons. With the arrows you can go up and down, and with the upper square button you navigate into the sub-menus and confirm choices. The lower square button works as a way to navigate back to the left. So I enter the Detect menu by pressing the upper square button. The first setting is the discrimination. If you choose this setting by pressing the upper square button again, you can choose single target IDs by using the arrow buttons. With the upper square button, you can accept or reject every single one of the 99 IDs. When you're finished, go back by pressing the lower square button. The second setting is TX power. This is the transmitter power, which means that I can increase the strength of the electromagnetic field. So if I enter the TX power setting by pressing the upper square button again, I can adjust the level by using the arrow buttons. The higher the setting, the stronger the electromagnetic field will get, which means that high conductive targets, especially bigger objects, will be found even deeper. Lower square button to go back and into the next setting, recovery speed. The higher you put the recovery speed, the faster the detector reacts to a target. This way, you can find good targets even if they are lying very close to trash objects. Lowering the recovery speed can make the detector search a little deeper. The next menu is about the custom search modes. Here you can save settings, give it a name, or pin it to the top. After choosing the name, you can confirm the name by holding the upper square button. So let's go back to the main menu by using the lower square button and go back twice. The next big menu is the sound menu. First setting here is the number of tones. You can choose between 2, 3, 5 and 99 tones. In the next setting, tone spaces, you can determine which of the different tones starts to appear at which ID number. For example, I can adjust the first tone, so basically the iron tone, to go right up until ID 27. The second tone would then start to appear for ID 28, until to the next breakpoint and so on. Next, you can even change the tone pitches for these different tones. So if you get annoyed if the sound is just a little too high pitched, you can for example lower the sound frequency for all the tone spaces. The next setting are the tone volumes. Here you can even set the volume for every one of the different tones. This way you can adjust the tones completely to your personal preference. The next of the big menus is the ground menu. The first thing we find here is the Ferris bias. What does this mean? The V80 identifies ion objects by itself, showing in the graph under the ID in the main interface. This setting determines how easy it decides if the object is ferrous or not. So a higher setting will make the detector be more likely to identify something as ion if it is unsure. The next setting is threshold. With threshold, the detector will play a constant background tone, which gets interrupted by signals. In this setting you can set the volume of this background tone. Leave it on 0 and no background tone will be played. The gyro sensor is able to identify the position change and rotation of the detector. This unique feature allows 3 special settings. The first is the automatic power save. If you enable this, the detector will save power once it stops moving, indicated by this little icon in the main interface. As soon as you move the detector again, it will start searching again, without any delays. Also, there's an option called Pump to GB. GB stands for ground balance, and if you activate this, you just need to pump the detector up and down without pressing any buttons, and it will start the ground balancing. The last option is Auto ID Stability. When this is turned on, the detector will automatically stabilize the ID shown in the display by compensating ID changes due to swing speed and the angle of the coil. And the last option is the manual ground balance. Here you can set the ground balancing manually yourself without pumping the detector up and down. If we go back to the main menu bar with the lower square button, we can choose the last submenu, Set. These are some general settings, beginning with the display settings. Here you can set the brightness level of the background light. With LCD refresh rate, you can adjust the refresh rate of the screen. With a lower level, you will save some battery, but the detector may seem to react a bit slow to button inputs. The clock may explain itself. Here you can set the time that is displayed in the main interface all the time. Next you have the wireless audio options, which means here you can unpair your headphones, connect them, or search for the headphones to connect. Then here you have the option to reset the detector to factory settings. And here you will find information about the currently installed software. If you are as excited as we are about the arrival of the V80 and V60, I have good news for you. They will be available already end of March this year. The V60 will cost around 599 euros, while the V80 will be at around 699 euros. Or you can choose the V80 Double Blizzard bundle for 799 euros. There you get the V80 and both of our new Blizzard coils. If you have any questions regarding our new machines, feel free to write it in the comments below, and also stay tuned because the year 2023 will be very exciting for Quest fans as we will come with many new products. Thank you for watching, and until then.